Hoosier Hurricane is one of 5 roller coasters at Indiana Beach, and it's probably their most iconic roller coaster. This is a beautiful ride, as the coaster borders Lake Shafer and the backside of the park. In my opinion, it's one of the most photogenic coasters out there. Hoosier Hurricane opened in 1994 and was constructed by the now defunct Custom Coasters International, or CCI for short. Hoosier Hurricane was a notable coaster for several reasons at the time. One, it was the largest coaster CCI had built to date. Previously, CCI had built Dutch Wonderland's Kingdom Coaster and Adventureland's Outlaw, 2 coasters that were roughly 20 to 25 feet shorter. 2, it was the first ground-up wooden coaster in decades to be built with a steel support structure, technically making Hoosier Hurricane a hybrid coaster. CCI would go on to use a steel support structure on several future wooden coasters like Great White and 2 other Indiana Beach coasters in Cornball Express and Lost Coaster. 3, it was the first wooden coaster built in Indiana in nearly 50 years. Over the next decade or so, Indiana Beach and Holiday World would combine to build 6 different wooden coasters, 5 of which were from CCI. Hoosier Hurricane is essentially an out-and-back coaster occupying a very thin footprint. I'd say it occupies a thin stretch of land, but that would be a bit deceiving. A large chunk of this coaster is built atop Lake Shafer. As a result, this coaster has some really bizarre looking supports. Steel juts from the boardwalk, and some supports have tires tied to them. The structure looks even crazier if you find a rare image of it when Lake Shafer is periodically drained. Hoosier Hurricane is one of the rare modern wooden coasters to operate with buzz bar restraints, or single position lap bars, and I love these restraints. They're incredibly freeing and leave you plenty of room to experience airtime, assuming the ride actually has airtime. With Hoosier Hurricane, that's a bit of a problem. It's actually sort of baffling how little airtime Hoosier Hurricane has. When I think of wooden coasters without airtime, I think of the following: Twisters, which Hoosier Hurricane most certainly isn't, or slow trimmed coasters, which Hoosier Hurricane also isn't. Hoosier Hurricane actually feels pretty fast, and it never really slows down throughout its course. I actually can't think of a wooden out and back coaster that holds its speed as well as Hoosier Hurricane that manages to provide less airtime. I wish the crests of each hill weren't as drawn out, because then Hoosier Hurricane might actually give some airtime. Because of the lack of airtime, I don't really have a strong preference towards the front or back of the train. The only recommendation I have is to avoid a wheel seat or the back row of any car, because Hoosier Hurricane can be a bit bumpy. While Apex owned the park, they retracked roughly 3/4 of Hoosier Hurricane, and the new ownership retracked the first drop for the 2020 season. So parts of Hoosier Hurricane ride quite smoothly, but the far turnaround was extremely bumpy. I dreaded that part on every single ride. And that retracked first drop is one of the best parts of the ride. If you're in the back, you get a rare moment of airtime. Plus, you have the amazing visuals of Lake Shafer and the park. Really, the strength of Hoosier Hurricane are those visuals. While it is a bit frustrating none of the camelbacks nor bunny hills provide any airtime, the lack of forces do allow you to appreciate the beauty of the park and lake a little more. Plus, you can also appreciate the near misses, particularly in the third drop when you dive beneath the suspension bridge. But my favorite part of the coaster actually occurs in the return run. The second bunny hill has an abrupt kink to the right. This results in some strong and unexpected laterals. It's easily the most intense moment on an otherwise scenic coaster. So in the end, what would I rate Hoosier Hurricane? I'd give it a 4 out of 10. I think the most frustrating thing about Hoosier Hurricane is that it had the potential to be great. It has one of the best settings of any wooden coaster, plus buzz bar restraints. The ride is just missing airtime. If only the crest of each hill had been a bit sharper, but at least the park redeemed itself a few years later with Cornball Express. Now that coaster has plenty of airtime. What are your thoughts on Hoosier Hurricane? Are you a fan of this iconic wooden coaster? Or do you feel similar to me that was a bit of a missed opportunity? I'd love to hear your comments down below. If you enjoyed this review, please consider liking this video and subscribing to Canopy Coaster, as there will be more coaster reviews coming. Thank you for listening.